Well, good morning and welcome to Let's Talk Stroke. I am your host right there. It says right there. Good morning, everyone. Mark Musan, nice to see you guys. Kevin. Well, for those of you that are new here, my name is Jerry Wald. I am your host and time flies, more than 14 years stroke survivor. I started doing the show, I don't know, wow, 7 years ago probably, and really to bring awareness to stroke, TBI, brain injury, aphasia, and also bringing in a guests to share their journeys from across the world, and also bringing on experts in brain health so they can share their knowledge with us. So this morning, I wanted to talk about, I don't know why I put discrimination, but you talk about that. Life after stroke, I mean, finding a job. But we'll talk about that in just a second. Okay, well, I'm back. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. And let's get right into it. So, I mean, for me, this was a big challenge. Well, still is, but this is what I'm doing. It's just more rewarding. Wow. So let's just talk about re-entering the workforce. Is a very challenging experience after a stroke. So but it could be rewarding. But returning to work really needs you really need a lot of careful. You have to be careful in how to plan it. So understand what the challenges are, which you know I just thought, I'll go back to work, it's all good. But you have to really think about the physical part of it, cognitive, your emotional challenges. And so some of them, I'll give you a couple. Physical limitations are, think about the weakness, the fatigue. I mean, can you work an 8-hour day like we used to? Difficulty with coordination, mobility. Can I stand? I can't stand. I mean, I think about standing, sitting in a chair 8 hours a day. Okay, get a break to take what do you call it? To take lunch and maybe some other breaks. Not sure how, because it was not a big deal when we were working. But so the other ones. So I said about the physical limitations. Um, then the cognitive part, issues with memory. That's got to be a tough one. Attention problems, solving and processing speed. I can only use my, because a lot of places are paperless now. It's all computer. So trying to use your well, my non-dominant side to type and all that. So that's some challenges. And then there's also anxiety, the emotional part of it. Anxiety, got to get the job done. Depression or changes in mood and behavior. There's so many different things. Good morning. I see if hopefully I don't miss any. Jenny, nice to see you. Man, how's the weather? But for all you guys, you know what? It was Texas, 7 degrees this morning. Um, but anyway, Naomi, nice to see you. Catherine, nice to see you. Good morning, everyone. I appreciate you guys being here. Let's see. Just keep dreaming. It's okay. Keep the little dream for all of us. Yes. Good morning, Jenny, Kelly, Musang, did it, Kevin? I'm repeating myself, but anyway, this was a great topic for me. Yeah, I know, very cold, but I'll tell you, I don't do good in the cold. That's another thing, going on like an interview. I mean, think about these things. Didn't worry about it before. Walking, it's ice, 7 degrees. Am I going to get there? Good morning, Lenora. Tom, nice to see you. Nice yacht in the desert. Yeah, so nice to everybody here. So getting back to some of these challenges. I mean, the physical limitations for us. Some people I know it's different for everybody, but the weakness, fatigue, another one. Using your brain more. Um, um, coordination, coordination, and then the cognitive part. Well, the weakness, standing, walking around, going upstairs. Just there's all the little things that I think of. If 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 they don't have an elevator for us, and I'm thinking about myself, an elevator, I have to. There has to be railings on both sides of the stairs because I have to use my left hand to hold on, and just all those tiny little things. It's a little stressful thinking about that. But and then what about you know getting the job? If you're on disability, how much can you make? You can't make that much because they take some of that. They'll take some of your disability away or all of it. I'm not sure how that works. So, but I know there's if you go through the disability office, Social Security, they will. They say they'll help you find work, but um, driving, that's another issue. Some people can't drive unless you can work out of your house. I mean, that's another. It's a great good thing there. Okay, the brain injury pocket. Nice to see you. Finally made it alive. Hey, I'm glad you guys made it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to Let's Talk Stroke. Um, Hit the notification button, and then you can see when I go live. And just so you know, I do go live Tuesday and Thursdays, um, 10 a.m. Central Time, um, and it's 10 a.m. Central Time, and so it's every Tuesday and Thursday. And this is live on YouTube, Twitter, X, whatever. YouTube, Twitter, several Facebook pages, Twitch, LinkedIn. So we're all out there. So if you miss it, you can always go back to the replay, and that's how it goes. So let's go back to the finding a job after you have your experiencing a stroke, after a stroke. It can be, and I know for those of you that have tried, or it's challenging to find work, but you need to have some good resources, and have some good approach how to do that. Let's see, who did I not don't let's, but anyway, so the first thing is, you've got the very first thing to do is work on your recovery, your rehab. Depending on the severity of yours stroke, it's important to prioritize your rehab. But you really, they say physiotherapists out there in the UK and some other parts of the world here, physical therapists, um, other therapists, occupational therapists, and speech therapy. And that's another huge thing. I'm not sure how you guys deal with it, but I being a little distracted here, but I like, please make comments, ask questions. So research job opportunities. I'll go into that, but I do want to see Tom ticket. I'm just reading ticket to work this year, 1,100 a month. If you're on SSDI, I do 10 shifts, unarmed security guard per month. Finding work is tough. Don't give up. No, it's not. You know, I probably, well, I do. I know I repeat myself, but when I was working, it was banking. It was like the killer job. Loved it. But now this is this is my job. I didn't know that I was the only stroke survivor out there. It was, and then I start finding everybody, and it's like, my gosh, I'm not alone. Which I don't want to say I'm glad. I'm just happy to see that I'm not alone. I know. But also, after I'm thank you for making comments here. And I'll get right back into this traumatic brain injury. I was able to get into the same field. That's Rick Passage. Okay, yeah. I just keep thinking to myself, going through the because my right side is is weak. on my dominant side, so I can't use it really that well. I'm not saying it can't, but it's so very challenging. Um, but Tom, the amount of maybe, yes, is I totally understand. That's why it kind of gets me there. But anyway, so what I did is I wrote out a bunch of things saying, you got to know your abilities. You have to assess your physical, cognitive, and emotional capabilities, because this can determine what kind of work is good for us. So go through. Oh, and Tom, since you're here still, did you go through the disability office and find out? Do they work with you? I'd love to hear all that. I talked to them before, and I get completely confused. So I mean, that's why I'm not work there. But so I think you start with an accessible work. Look for jobs that are flexible and can be done remotely. I mean, to me, I think, I know there's some insurance companies out there, and you can work remote. Um, so that's what many people that have had a stroke, they find work in customer service, administrative roles. This one I'm a little confused about. I think tutoring or just like freelance writing or consulting. Um, and I think for me, a full-time job would kind of throw me off here. But consider part-time or flexible hours. Do you think you're being discriminated when you go to fill out an application? Because now it says, um, um, do you have a disability? Well, yeah. I mean, they're going to see, just like family, when you walk in, they see you limping around there. They're going to know something's up there. But so if you're still adjusting to starting with a less demanding role, could probably be very helpful. Um, Many employees are open to flexible work hours, or work from home opportunities. I know there's more and more. Um, I thank you, Kelly. I see that. Very true. Help from Social Security. Okay, that's right. Right. They have outside people or agencies to ticket to work. Okay. Yeah, because you can get rich on Social Security. But anyway, focus on industries that offer accommodations. Um, that's another thing. Healthcare, which uh, education or tech are some sectors that offer arrangements that can accommodate health needs. Um, but healthcare, I've actually, I don't want to ever give this up, but I do want to go in, maybe say Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, go to healthcare, go to support groups, something that we know. I think we could be really valuable there to help other people out there, let them know things get better. I mean, you can't promise them, but things get better. I mean, I'm over 14 years, and I think back, wow, you should have seen me, 10 years ago. Well, 14 years ago plus. It was quite the journey. It still is. I'm still working on the stuff all the time. Um, you have to leverage your support networks. And that's important. It's very important. These services are available in many areas. Can provide pretty career counseling, resume help, job placement support. But I know, just like you know, I think the best thing is go to Social Security, because I know you can't make a certain amount. You can't, and you got to report your job earnings if you're working in security. That's um, if you're thank you. The slash work on there. So disability employment services. So in some countries, there are government nonprofit organizations that can assist, which is our neck of the woods, Social Security. Thank you for putting that up there. So I I know the resources, but have I used it? Not really. So, but I think for me, update your resume. And you have to really, especially if you're going to just you're thinking that you can go back to how it used to be, but honestly, you can't. I mean, I'm just saying for me, um, I can't go. So, got to be honest about your, the time off you took for recovery. So when I put it on, yeah, I took off about 14 years. Well, um, but focus on the skills that you still have. If you acquired any new skills during your recovery, which I think we have, such as learning new adaptive technology, which I think is, mention that. Put that on your resume. Some of the things that you're doing now that you didn't do before. Learn new skills. If your previous work may no longer be available or feasible, look into training or certification programs that can help you develop new skills. Um, so many online courses, workshops that can make it easier. Um, Now, this for me, I think is pretty valuable. Consider self-employment, um, entrepreneurship. Whew, thought I was gonna that, but if traditional employment feels daunting, consider starting your own business, writing, graphic design. I mean, there's so many different things that you can do. Um, Communicate your needs to the employers. That's another good one, right? Be open about your accommodations. If you need accommodations, um, and this is true too, is a quiet workplace, modification duties, adaptive technologies. Um, there's so many, but know your rights too. In many places, that's why I put discrimination after stroke. I was a little confused on this, but because in many places, disability discrimination laws are in place to protect workers. Um, um, so that's something, regarding our medical conditions. Um, so you got to familiarize yourself with these laws so you can advocate for yourself. Is what we always say. Let's advocate for ourselves. It's so important. But again, um, uh, stay positive. Focus on the mental and emotional health. Stay positive. Job hunting, as we know, can be stressful. Um, you know, I know and it will be. Yeah, that's right. Can be stressful, but stay patient with yourself. Celebrate, and we do this in our stroke journey, in our TBI journey. Celebrate the small wins. Even like I do that with myself. Think about celebrate those small wins. Whether heck, it's an interview, learning a new skill, reaching out to potential employers. Um, it's okay to ask for help. Very good information. Thank you for throwing that stuff in there. And Tom, appreciate it. My first job was a homeschool development. Okay, after your stroke. um, but you got to manage these feelings while navigating the job search. It's a lot of stuff to go through. So let's see, what else did I think about here? But I know in the beginning you've got to know your abilities. You can't just wing it. I keep thinking, okay, I'm going to go do that job because I can do it. But then I think, okay, I can't stand very long. I mean, I can walk. I can good. I'm real good. Um, I still wear, but I have a new brace, not an AFO. It's called a brace, and it's a great for me. It's really good. But so anyway, for me, the physical and cognitive and emotional capabilities. Those three things are um, kind of determine what kind of job you can get, what kind of work is good for us. I mean, there's so many out there, um, and but as Tom put it, I let's see here. I yeah, I thought of that too, but if someone kind of like, I'm not the very, what do you call that? Let's see. I know I consider the Uber and stuff, but Lyft, but I don't know if the kind of my luck, someone will pop me on the head, just, but let's see here. I just want to see, bring this comment up here. Hey, Jerry, not enough is paid attention to this subject. Finding work after stroke was difficult. I worked with a department of rehab. And found successful. And that's what I'm thinking. I've actually gone to some hospitals, and to look at that and see. I went to support groups. Hey, I got nothing here. Luck today, everyone. Got nothing here. I know, Serena. Good to see you. Yeah. So thank you for putting this on there. Some of these, but going to support groups. I know I would do. In the beginning, I didn't want to do anything. I mean, I didn't want anybody to see that I had a stroke, but it's okay now. I'm like totally into it now. So I want to help other people out and see if there's something I can gain from it. Because there's so many things to do out there in this world of stroke. So it's always, I always say, it's funny to say that all the time, but I don't really say it all the time. Reintegrating yourself in the workforce after a stroke. I have a guide that I can copy and paste and send if anybody wants it. But I have to use it more. So, but there's so many things. I know the hospital network is the way to go. However, I feel like I'm always trying to prove that I know that's how I feel. But for me, the short-term memory, you've got to, I put everything in my phone, that I put things there that I can probably remember, and just think about what I need to be doing. There's let's see, there's other ones here that I had. Let's see, you got to understand the challenges of getting back into work. You know, like I said earlier, the cognitive, the physical, the emotional challenge that can impact our, our job. So that's what you got to think about. That's like one of the things I really didn't think of, but when I did my own research and thought about this, I thought, wow, it is, there is a return to work step-by-step approach. So I have that, which I've looked at, well, for quite some time. So people say, well, consult your healthcare team. To me, I don't think that's I don't need consult with them, because I know my limitations are. The big thing is communicate with your potential employer. Um, um, Start gradually. Well, I have to start gradually because I'm getting money through SSI, or yes, so Social Security. Support groups. Go to support groups. I think that would be a great way to do it. And I think, let's see, they give one for all the information. This is great advice. Yes, know the customer. Wait, I'm sorry. I just hit. I'm just know the customer pays up front. If you have trouble doing right here, there is okay. If you had a bad experience, you're great. Okay. Yeah. No, I understand. I just wonder if people, like my wife says, if you're going by yourself, they can see you're disabled. I'm walking, with a limp, and they can easily like rob you. I mean, or something. That's what you're a good target. So that's what I keep thinking, and she's right. Probably, I'm a good target. But they're not going to get anything because it's really not nothing. So really make modifications in your job search, your work environment. It really can improve your ability to to perform and effectively. Assistive technologies use that. There's lots. you've got to really take breaks. But there's some jobs they're that I looked at that there a lot of them are paperless, so you've got to reuse a computer, so you got to take a little typing test. How fast can you type? Well, one hand, that's that may be challenging for me, but I can type. Um, so really, you've got to be open communication with everybody. It's just so important to let them know that you're a survivor. And when you had your stroke, because I actually did a resume a long time ago and put on there, what I've done for the last, what have you done for the last 14 years? Well, you know, didn't, it's hard to say it didn't work, but like this is work. I mean, but there's no pay in this unless you get sponsors and all that. Um, and that's during these times, these economic times are a little more difficult than it used to be. Um, but what else there was there? There was another thing about that. Just you don't want to. There's anxiety in it. So going back to work, um, what is it? Find support. It's just so much challenges to do this. But anyway, I think it's pretty awesome that um, look at that. Thank you for bringing these up here. Some of these comments here. You got your first job 12 years after your stroke. The good thing is Social Security and SSI gives us a grace period. See if this. I think it's nine. For me, I think it's 9 months. You can just make whatever you want, and then after that, you're like, now you've got to go through the motions there. Ask them for a chance to prove yourself. That's right. I like it. I like it. Yeah. Serena, see, look at you. You got all these little answers here, and I appreciate that. Awesome stuff there. But people say you should research accessible jobs. That's the first thing you should start with. I don't know. I don't. All I need is just a chance. Just a chance to do that. That's what I'm thinking about me. Look for jobs that are flexible, that can be done remotely. Um, I think that's a great one. I mean, but there's a lot of scams out there. I don't know if anybody has done this. They're looking out and they see that you have to do I've seen so many scams. I've been, I randomly search for jobs and then I see some of the stuff they say. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, I know it's a scam. So be careful out there when you're going through trying to get a job. And again, like I said, is if you're still adjusting to stroke life, start with a less demanding job. But I think it all comes down to if you are getting paid through Social Security, disability, you got to check with them, because somehow it'd be just a mess if you get the job and all of a sudden you don't check with them and they find out, because they will. Then you're um, I'm trying to say it without screwed. I don't know how you say it, but SOL. Yes, SOL, because you don't want to be taking away any of the income that they're giving you. But it's a thing is first to focus. The very first thing to do is focus on your recovery. That's the first thing to do, depending on the severity of it, because it's important to prioritize your rehab. So that's number one. That's the number one thing to do with that. So that's why I always say, not I don't. That's what I think. And then so number two is a know your abilities. Research the job opportunities. Search with think about your accessible work. Let's see, number three. I don't know if I got them on order, but consider part-time or flexible hours. To me, that's perfect, because the cognitive the ability to your physical demand is tough, at least for me. Um, so, but a lot of employers are very open to different opportunities. Let's see. Reading some of these comments. Department rehab, so you can specialize in finding a department. I'm going to look at all this stuff here, but I just need Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I don't need Monday, Wednesday, and Friday because not enough, like you said, is talked about on this subject. No one. So I definitely did my research, and that's what I wanted to do. Thank you for bringing up here. And Tom. Uber, Lyft, easy to get started, background check, and newer car. You can lease the car. You can lease the car from either company, huh? I say save up and buy a newer Prius. I know, yeah. Um, get it. Accounting, rideshare is great for people with disabilities. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I actually, yeah, I drive. It's not, you know, I'm looking for doing it DoorDash right now. Okay, here's another thing. Since you're mentioning this, is like DoorDash. Um, I have to get out of the car, bring the food. I know this sounds like I can't do it, but like if someone has a steep driveway or stairs with no handle on there, um, that may be difficult for me. I'm just saying for me because getting up, I can go up the driveway. Getting down may be a little more difficult. And carrying a whole bunch of food or like just say a pizza or or several pizzas, I'd have to take several trips, back and forth. Good morning, Lynette. So that I'm just looking at that. I thought about that. Um, is that because you work on your own schedule, with the Uber, Lyft, and all that. Um, if you don't want to go in, then you don't go in. But that's one of the things. I thought about that, and that's something that I thought about all that. So it's still in the back of my mind because this is where my passion is to try to get somebody, well, anybody on everybody who comes on, if we all can help one person, inspire one person, we did our job. That's what's really kind of awesome about this. We want to make sure that, um, the Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and Thursdays, you come here, get on the show. And if you do want to be on this show, please send me a private message and let me know. I would love to have you on. I had Tawny on Tuesday, and very inspiring. Which I've known her for years, but I think she's been on. Well, she's been on with me and her, Maddie, um, together, the three of us. But I had her on for the first time, I think, just by herself, and it was awesome. She gave some great insights of what's going on, and she so please look at the show. And if you want to see any of the other shows, the easiest way to find is on YouTube. Let's Talk Stroke. That's how you do it. Research tools on them. Yeah, I know there's some. You can do some. What do you call that on Amazon? Do their. Can't think of it. Their. You can go. Amazon. Their products. You can research their products or test them, I guess, or something like that. I know there's a lot of things out there to do it, but the first thing I always say is uh, focus on the industries that you think um, that they offer accommodations. That's a big thing. That's something that we do need to look at. From that's and do you want to work full time? I can't, but if you can, that's great. I know, John Loomis. We talk about a lot. Yes, I exactly. Good idea, Tom. I know, isn't he? Got some great ideas, and I appreciate it. I'm so glad everybody stopped by. Just thank you for sharing. Remote customer service. Yeah, I know I see a lot of things on like TikTok that a lot of these opportunities out there. A lot of people do remote work. But it takes time to research all this. I mean, is not the easiest thing to do. But if you do recognize these challenges, um, that really is like the first step you need to do to create a successful plan to return to work. That's the because when I thought about this subject, I kept thinking, um, this is something I need to talk about because a lot of people, including me, you know, I always thought I'm going to go back to work right after my stroke. Okay, that didn't help. I'm starting with Ticket to Work. What? Um, okay, I had a stroke, Stephen. How does Ticket to Work? Is that through disability or Social Security? Is that how they do that? Things to keep food warm and drink carriers. Customers will often help you with it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I thought of that, but then like going to an apartment. I keep thinking I'm never. Listen, I am not a negative person at all, but I'm just thinking um, if I have to go upstairs of the apartment complex, that's what I think, and just that kind of stuff. Because I thought Uber, Lyft, all that stuff seems like a great little thing if you because you can work your own hours and um, pretty cool. I didn't know that, and I could be wrong. Maybe I misinterpret interpreted. You know what I mean? Um, they'll lease you a car. I just yeah, whatever works. We have a car, um, but anyway, that's what I just wanted to say. Anything offer return to work after brain injury. Um, So the very first thing, finding a job. This was it all about. And when I put the title, I didn't know if it came across as um, negative type thing because discrimination after stroke, going to work. It's true. Um, it's a it's a tough deal to deal with. A lot of people do want to go to work, but they think they can't. But a lot of questions out here, and I appreciate it. Um, the customer service. I thought about that. Even actually thought, I see people at our local grocery store. It's HEB. That's the one here, the big one out here. Um, there's one person. There's several people out there that do. Um, one gal's in a wheelchair and she's doing things, stocking, whatever. I mean, really, I don't, don't, I don't want anybody like, because when I say I had a stroke, I'm sorry. I don't want to be, no, I don't feel, um, I'm totally cool with it. Now, if I have to go in there and do that, that's fine too. Um, so let's see what man, this is awesome. Yeah, they want you to return working. Ticket to Work is the program. Okay. To help you get back out there. Okay. Okay. And they know how much uh, you know, that you're allowed to make and all that. So that's pretty cool. Thank you for asking. I mean, thank you for all these comments that are showing people um, how can you get back to work in the workforce. It's um, very not allowed to say I can't. I know. Take that T out of it, Serena. I know what. I know. I catch myself all the time when I'm saying I can't do that. Well, you can. You just got to make some adjustments. Thank you, Serena. Um, but any other comments or after the show, please feel free to put them in there. And because I do go through these all the time and every show to look at. And if I missed anything, thank you, Kelly. And if you guys have any other ideas too, a show, something that you don't see a lot of people covering. Um, I'm hundreds and hundreds of shows I've done, and um, and and I appreciate every one of you that are here, showing support. Um, it means a lot. And anyway, I think that's kind of what I wanted to cover. It's just on finding a job after having a stroke. That's what it was. And then, it's some people say, it's definitely possible. So, but you have to have the right approach and resources to get in there. So that's why I wanted to cover this, just because it um, makes a difference. And with all the different suggestions, I mean, I think who can't get a job, right? I mean, because I've gotten a lot of information out of here, with all of you, all y'all, that it's it really helps, and I hope it helps some of you that you did. Um, that's discrimination about yourself. Yeah, I believe you. I'll Serena, yeah. Oh no, I'm cool about it. I'm just thinking of me going like get up and down stairs with holding bags in. It'd be um yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. And I've learned so much out here, and I appreciate every one of you that um, that are making these comments, because it's so much information. According to who I spoke with, I'm allowed to make up as much as I can. Yeah, that I said that earlier, and that's pretty awesome. 9 months, then 20. Wow, 20 months. That check you stay could be different. Yeah, I checked, and the first 9 months, get whatever you can do, whatever you want. But then you're gonna get so used to that, and then you gotta kick back down to the. I thought it was uh, a lot less than that, Stephen. But gonna check and see what that's all about. But I appreciate that information, because this is cool, and you've got 9 months to spread over. You got Paul. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. You get 9 months spread over 5 years. Stephen. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's so cool. This is great. I appreciate all the information. I've just learned so much here, and I appreciate it. So glad that I didn't have to tell different information, because I've learned a lot here. So again, I appreciate it. And again, I hope you all have a great weekend, because I don't do a show tomorrow, Tuesday and Thursdays. And if you've not done it, please again subscribe to Let's Talk Stroke on YouTube. You guys all have an awesome rest of your day. What time is it? And hopefully it's warming up below, because right now it's still below freezing. So it's I don't know if it passed 10 degrees here. So you guys stay warm. Everybody else, have a great day. Everybody else, you all have a great rest of your day. Um, I just saw Stephen. Thank you. So thank you. Have a great day, you guys. Appreciate it.